Weight gain during recovery can feel like the worst thing. I've been through the process of weight gain during easy recovery, so I really feel you. It can feel frustrating, hard, and disheartening. So today I'm sharing the tips that helped me cope during this period and come out feeling stronger than ever. I'm Lara, the food freedom psychologist, and I can help you create a healthy and happy relationship with food without guilt or stress eating. I hope you're enjoying my videos and getting so much value from them. If you are, be sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and click that little bell so that you can be notified every time I post a new video. I'm sharing tips today that have changed my life, but also the life of my clients. Getting your head around the idea of weight gain during recovery can be so hard. So I really hope that these coping strategies can help you too. With my clients, we've seen so many incredible transformations with people completely changing their relationship with food and body image. Let me know in the comments if this is something that you've struggled with too. Weight gain in recovery from dieting or restrictive types of eating disorders can be really hard. I'm not going to lie. It can be disheartening and it can actually make you feel like dieting again or going back to the crutch that was your eating disorder. I've been through recovery from 2 eating disorders, and in both instances my weight journey was very different. I'm not going to share any numbers in terms of weight because I don't think that's helpful and can be triggering for some people. After my experience with orthorexia, my recovery spanned quite a few months. During that time I gained weight. My experience was that after I stopped all the extreme restrictions, my weight actually stayed about the same for a while, and then it shot up. That was the hardest bit, and now it's gone down a bit, and it's been the same for about 2 years now. I'll talk about this idea of that overshoot later in the video, and that big gain that I experience, and you might as well, is actually really normal. When you stop restricting, your body doesn't know that it can trust you again to eat, and it's something that happens to help you get to your eventual set point weight. If you've not heard of set point weight, it's basically the weight range where your body is most comfortable and will stay there without dieting or restricting or anything like that. So this is the ultimate aim, really, is to get to that range of weight where your body feels most comfortable. And just a heads up, everyone's experience with weight restoration is really different. You might notice weight gain in a specific area, like around the waist. But what I can say is that over time, that will redistribute itself around your body. You might struggle with how you look. I know that I certainly did. And some bodies gain weight quicker than others. That's, again, totally normal. And it can be really hard to cope with that changing body. It was for me. On the one hand, I wanted to gain weight because I knew I needed to for my long-term health, but on the other hand, I struggled with seeing my body change. What I will say, and this is to give you some reassurance, is that I'm really content with where my body's at now. It's at a heavier weight, but it really has settled and has stayed broadly the same for a couple of years now. So keep on to that hope. And the final thing to say before I go on to giving you the tips is that in this phase, you might suffer from a loss of identity. So if you have been extreme dieting, the diet might have been your whole life, everything that you were doing. And with an eating disorder, people really identify with their eating disorders. The dieting or the eating disorder gave you purpose. It was a structure around which you framed your day. During my orthorexia, I was the super healthy one that always made the best health choices. My rigid rules and routines actually left little headspace for much else. You might find the same, this kind of loss of identity. But I promise, as you let go of that, over time you'll find more time and energy and headspace for other things. And that's a really good place to be. So here's my tips then. Tip number 1 is to have a list of reasons to recover. This list might actually change as you progress, so you might want to visit it a lot. What I encourage you to do is write a list of things that you will gain besides weight. So it might be physical things, so you might end up with more energy, or your hair and nails might improve, or you might stop getting such cold hands and feet, because when you've been depriving your body of food, you might have become malnourished over time. It might be mental, so your mental health no doubt will improve, or it might be that you have more headspace because you're not thinking about food all the time or stressing about eating in front of friends and family. Maybe it will allow you to be more present in the moment so that you can enjoy hanging out with friends and families and going on dates and enjoying beautiful moments in your life. Tip number 2 is to know that your body will change. The real recovery from from extreme dieting or eating disorders, there needs to be an acceptance that your body will change. You don't have to love the idea, but you will have to live with it. There will be weight gain as you settle into that new pattern of eating, but eventually you will reach your set point weight. But at the same time, don't expect to stay at one ideal weight. So set point weight is a weight range, and that means that there is a range of weight that your body will feel comfortable. So you might find that it fluctuates a little bit, and again, that's okay. Tip number 3 is prepare for overshoot. This is something that I was not prepared for because I didn't know about it, but it's really hard. I had been so restrictive in my eating when I started refeeding. I felt like I was putting on so much weight. But as I faced my fear foods more and more, everything started to normalize. So the food that I felt like I was eating loads of at the very beginning became normal, and I felt like the cravings went away. So I focused on feeding myself with both nutrient-dense foods and also fun foods. And over time, my weight did settle. It went up, overshot my happy weight, and then went back down and settled to where I am now. Overshoot is apparently a really normal part of getting back to your set point weight range. It's your body's way of restoring the proper ratio between muscle, bone, and fat. Tip number 4 is to know that you are more than a body. Given diet culture that surrounds us, sometimes it's really hard to know that because we so often receive the messages that it's all about how we look. But I really encourage you to connect with other aspects about yourself. So who you are, what are you like, what your strengths are, what do you care about? Start thinking about yourself in terms of qualities. So are you kind, compassionate, fun, enthusiastic, outgoing? Tip number 5 is to wear comfortable clothes. This is a huge one. I had to say goodbye to large chunks of my wardrobe. I either sold them or gave them away to charity. This was a very cathartic process and something that I really needed to do. And for a while, I didn't have very many clothes left in my wardrobe, so I had to wear the same thing over and over again. But eventually, when my weight settled, I went out and bought some new clothes. But honestly, getting rid of those clothes that didn't fit was so good for me. It's really not nice having to sit there in tight clothes, especially I love jeans, and so it used to squeeze me around the waist and make me feel uncomfortable. So sizing up was one of the most positive things I did. And I honestly believe that when you're more comfortable in your clothes, you're more positive about your body. Tip number 6 is to reduce body checking. Now, this can be really hard, but basically the more you body check, the more aware you are of your body. And that can make you feel anxious, and some people it can slow down recovery. I learned that for a while I needed to avoid lingering over mirrors and stop touching myself. That sounds weird. I still don't have any long mirrors in the house, and that's kind of on purpose. So I was trying to make myself focus more on how clothes make me feel rather than what I looked like. And I know that some people have also found it helpful doing things like putting a timer on when they're getting ready so that they don't get kind of sucked into too much body checking. Tip number 7 is to appreciate your body for what it does, not how it looks. Choosing to respect your body no matter what can be really empowering. And with clients, I really help them achieve this point of body neutrality. So I'm not necessarily saying go out and love your body. For some people that works, but for most people that doesn't. It didn't for me. But getting to a point where I felt neutral about my body was really good. And this is helped by focusing on what your body does for you rather than how it looks. Your body is a vehicle that allows you to live, to love, to laugh, to dance, to create, and hang out with your friends. So think about all the things that your body allows you to do and give your body gratitude for that. And tip number 8 is to get qualified help. If you need to, work through this with someone, both in recovery from an eating disorder and also in recovery from extreme dieting. Having someone by your side and supporting you through the process can be really invaluable. There are so many people that work in this area, and you definitely want to find someone that fits with you. I'm one of those people, so if that resonates, then you can book a call with me. The details are in the links below. I hope you found these tips really helpful. Let me know in the comments which one you found most helpful. As always, I've added some resources and some links for you to explore below. There are 2 books that I recommend here, both of which I absolutely love. So one is More Than a Body. This is more story-based. It's about someone in recovery from an eating disorder. And the other one, More Than a Body, just helps you really appreciate your body for what it does for you rather than how it looks. Check out these videos next for more health, food freedom and mindset tips. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and if you know anyone who might benefit from hearing something like this, please do share it with your friends. Bye for now.